Yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so welcome back to the Y.E.S Longevity Podcast, where we give you insight on how to get fit, feel younger, and live better. A little housekeeping today on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. It's gorgeous out there.
Sure
I can't wait to go for a run as soon as I'm done with this.
And I'm not going to do that.
And he's not going to do that. First thing is we have
Tuesday morning change.
Thank you. We have a change in our schedule Tuesday morning, starting May 7th, I think is that Tuesday. We're going to change the 5:30 a.m. class to a class that for right now we call Stretch. It's kind of stretching 2.0. We are going to utilize the CARS principles. CARS are
Can't help you with this one.
No, you can't, because for some reason I can never remember it. CARS are controlled articular rotations. So what we do is we bring a joint, and you can bring every joint in your body through a pain-free range of motion. And what that does is that will improve your flexibility, your mobility, stability. It will basically help you feel better, move better, and perform better. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a pilot class starting Tuesday, May 7th at 5:30 a.m. So if you come into class on every morning, you're going to see something different on a Tuesday morning.
Excellent.
And Amy is going to be a recipient of that, because Amy, our guest today, comes to class 5 or 6 days a week now at the crack of dawn. And this will give you some little variety. So it's going to help you. Before we were doing strength training back-to-back days, and it's really not best for the body to do that, especially if we're training correctly. Recovery is important. So this type of class will give us some recovery as well as improve our performance.
Excellent.
And our results. So we're going to start that then. And that's my only announcement today that I can remember.
Okay, perfect.
So today we have Amy. Amy's with us to share her story. And I urged Amy to be very free and open with her thoughts.
Dangerous.
Amy's been a client with us now for almost 5 years. It's 4.5 years. It'll be 5 years in August. I looked that up today, and I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah. It's amazing how good things
just keep rolling along.
Right.
So I'm going to ask Amy first to just kind of remember. First, I would say thanks for coming on board with us today. I really appreciate you sharing your story with us. Amy's always a hoot, a lot of fun in class. And she can give you her perspective on things around here. But way back when, 4.5, 5 years ago, whenever it was, what made you think about joining Y.E.S Fitness? Where were you at?
Well, I was overweight. I was not in shape. I didn't feel good about myself. I was not putting myself first. And I decided that I was not enjoying life the way I wanted to. So part of that was certainly to get an exercise program going. My kids are getting to be grown. And, I think that a lot of women, especially, and I'm generalizing here, tend to put themselves last. And the years go by, and all of a sudden your kids are grown and you're in lousy shape and you're not feeling good about life. So I was sort of at that point. So I decided I would tackle the getting back into shape. And I'd always been an athlete, so I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
And I joined Y.E.S, and
you were okay.
That's right.
We certainly hear that story over and over again. It's a broken record. I don't take care of myself. I need to start to take care of myself. I've been taking care of everybody else. And that's why our clientels are the ages that they are. It's above 40, because typically when you're younger than 40, 45 years old, 35 years old, you have a family. And you're growing up, and you're worried about a career, and you're doing all the things around your house, and everything comes before mom.
Absolutely.
But that's what makes mom special.
I guess so. But it also, I feel that when you're raising children, you have to model good behavior. And if you don't follow an exercise plan and you don't eat right, you're not modeling good behavior. And I made that mistake myself. Right. So, you live and learn, but it isn't, especially with the flexibility of the times that you have the classes, it's very easy to say, okay, this time every day or 3 times a week or even 2 times a week is for me. And I'm going to revolve everything around that. And I'm going to put that first, and then I'll schedule everything around it. I think that's where it comes, is putting your priorities on yourself first, and then fitting everything in else around it, because then everything else falls into place.
You can get it done in 2 days a week.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
certain things you can certainly get done. You can make changes in your sleep habits. You can make changes in how much energy you have. You can make changes in how strong you are, how you feel, your body composition. Everything can be done in 2 days a week.
Absolutely.
To put that 2 hours aside each week is real important.
Mhm.
I can say that one thing that I'm very proud of, and I'm not a very boastful person. I've never pushed exercise or nutrition on anyone in my family, none of my kids or my wife. You know, I live my life, and if they choose to follow what they do, and I have 4 children and my wife, they all exercise in some capacity now.
That's great.
If they ask me for help, I'll give them help, but if not, you know, they're doing something, which is what I wanted to have happen. And you know, I can't say we've always eaten the best. We don't. You have kids, you don't eat the best, but as they've gotten older, my wife and I have been able to clean up our eating habits some, and really they've all kind of taken on some of, if not most of, you know, the lifestyle eating changes that we've made, and I'm very proud of that, because you know, like you said, you got to lead by example. You got to show them what they should be doing,
Right.
And you know, you can't tell a teenager what to do.
No, but you can. You know, I see it in 2 parts. There's education, and then there's motivation. You can do the education, and you can't get anywhere without that. So you do that first. It's up to them, you know, their motivation. You can certainly contribute to that. But if you don't have the education on what you should be doing, and that's another thing coming here, you know, you educate people on not only what is right for their body fitness wise and not some generic, you know, program, but also, you know, what's right for them as far as food goes. And again, you can educate them, but, you know, lead a horse to water and all that good stuff.
Right. They're not always going to drink it.
You know, if you provide it, you know, usually people can figure it out.
So in those 4.5 years now, what are some of the struggles that you have overcome?
Well, I was very overweight when I first started, and I've lost, I mean, I don't really weigh myself, but the one time I did, I lost like 60 pounds.
And I'm just going to say that we're not completely the people
that
took care of that for you, but you've made changes in your life and you've been able to do that. You've had some other help with that. So.
Right. Yeah. The motivation part of it was my problem. So, you know, I did get some help with that. Other changes, you know, mostly I think because of the weight, but I'm able to exercise 6 days a week now.
Yeah.
And that is so fun. Just not being limited too much. I mean, I do have injuries here and there. You know, I have bad knees I was a ski racer growing up, so my knees are shot. I do have bad knees. And, you know, they do irritate me, but, you know, you're so flexible here that I'm able to adjust. And then, you know, just having the camaraderie of the group and, you know, what's worked for other people, you know, makes a huge difference, and you can kind of overcome whatever you're doing and still keep moving, but not say, oh, my knee hurts, I'm not going.
Right.
You know, you don't need to do that. And that's an easy excuse. And I don't use it anymore because you don't have to.
Yeah. I will say, though, probably if you didn't show up, what would happen? Someone would contact you. And it wouldn't even have to be me.
No, it would be, I've had that happen. I mean, you know, I've probably made some of my best friends here. I mean, I have people that are in my class that I do things on the weekends with, that I talk to on a regular basis outside of the gym. We go shopping together. We go out for coffee. I don't drink coffee, but we go out for coffee. You know, we went on a hike that Sunday. You know, 4 of us went on an all-day hike. You know, people I enjoy and I will be friends with whether I'm here or not. Yeah. Moving forward. And they will check in with me if I'm not here and say, where are you? Are you okay? Or they know I'm on a business trip, or, you know, they know that I can't come today because I got to go pick my son up at school or whatever. Right. You know, we keep tabs on each other. And it's, as you get older and you're not out and about as much, you know, my kids are grown. I'm not at soccer games. I'm not at, you know, this is a great place to meet people and meet new friends and people who have similar things in common with you. So it's a whole, the social aspect is a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother thing. Yeah. And I have a lot of friends, mind you. I grew up not too far from here. I have a lot of friends, but I work from home. So it's fairly isolating. Wow. Yes. And this is my social hour of the day. I mean, my husband comes home and we socialize and all that, but From a day-to-day perspective, I don't go into an office. I come here, I see my friends, and then I work the rest of the day. So it's really nice to have that. So
that's why you talk so much.
no, I just talk so much.
Yeah.
But I talk all day at work too. So on the phone.
That is a feature or a benefit of being in our facility that is overlooked.
Absolutely.
Really overlooked by people. They look at all exercise facilities the same. I'm going to go there and exercise. I might not know anybody. I'm not going to be able to do what I need to do. Can't keep up with them. All that kind of stuff. That's really not what it's like here at all. We have a lot of camaraderie in all the different classes, and because the people that come at 9:15 together, they all come together. The people that do semi-private training together, they do it together, and they just develop groups and bonds that keep you going, because it's important to continue and be consistent. That's one of the keys to exercise, is consistency.
Yep, and it's funny because it just sort of spiders out, because I don't go to class with Sally. Typically, sometimes on Saturdays I see her, but Sally is friends with Brenda, and I see Brenda all the time. So, become friends with Sally. Well, Sally goes skiing with my mother now. Because,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because everybody else is, Brenda's doing her stuff. I'm working. My mom's not working because she's retired. Sally's not working because she's retired. So they meet up and go skiing. Well, so it's even impacting my mother, who doesn't even come here.
Right.
She's got new friends because of it. So,
What are some of the activities you can do now that you weren't able to before?
Oh, boy. Well, I mean, I was always an athlete. I was always not horribly in shape. It wasn't that I couldn't, walk up a hill or anything like that. I could always do something. But, skiing was getting to the point with my weight and my lack of activity where it was actually hard to do. I used to be able to ski better than I walked.
Wow.
And here it was getting to be a challenge. So I went skiing, of course, this winter after losing all that weight and being in shape. And it was like nothing, it was back to my old self again, and felt great. And
that is so cool.
It's wicked cool. Yeah, it's really cool. I wouldn't, you get invited to parties, or you get invited to go do something like a hike or whatever. And my instant reaction before would be, oh boy, I'm going to look awful in a bathing suit, or the hike's going to be tough for me because my knee's going to give out halfway and I'm going to be embarrassed. I don't have that anymore. I'm confident. I can do anything I want to do now. I really can. I don't have any hesitation at all. And that self-esteem and that confidence, especially, I think, again, I'm generalizing, for women, middle-aged women, is huge.
Yes.
Huge.
Anytime, we use this in some presentations, anytime a woman looks in the mirror, we have a little cartoon up there, doesn't matter how sleek, slim, how fit they look, when they look in that mirror, they see fat and overweight.
Right. And you know what? You're not going to have the body you had when you were 20. But you know what? You're at a gym with everybody else who has the same issues, and you're able to celebrate each other's, successes here, inside and outside the gym. And it makes a huge difference. And you realize everybody's in the same boat.
Yeah.
So it's a really great community. It really is.
It's always funny. No matter what the scale says, the woman sees fat.
Absolutely.
FAT. I don't care if it says 110 and you're 6'3". It says FAT, and it's a shame that society puts that on women and men now, because with all the social media, guys have got to walk around and think that they need to have a chiseled abs and things like that, and that's just not reality.
No, and you're here. Some of us are in shape, some of us are not in shape, but we're all friends anyway.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. If you want to get in shape, you have a lot of support to help you. If you just want to kind of exercise once in a while and come and enjoy, that's okay too. It doesn't matter.
So what is your favorite exercise?
Again, I don't know what to call it, but it's the one where you plank and you drag the weight across. That's my favorite. I really like that.
You like that? So what she's describing is what we call, in our terminology, and we've demonstrated it in some of our Facebook posts recently, the USB, or the ultimate sandbag quadruped, just USB quadruped lateral drag with a mini band. And it's a terrific core exercise. Actually, what it is, it's a core exercise. It's similar to a bird dog, but it's dynamic, and I talked about it today, but they didn't really care.
Come on.
how it activates and works the fascia combined from your upper back on the left side all the way down across your core to your posterior chain, your backside, your butt, and the back of the leg on the right side, because the fascia in your body crosses like that. And that is how we walk, and that's how you run. So it's developing core strength in a very functional pattern, a functional way that people don't even know about. They don't think about it. And with the band, it does certain things in your body. So it's really, people look at it and they say, oh, that's simple, that's garbage, that's nothing. It's a very complex exercise that is very functional in our lives, and walking and running helps with balance and things like that. So that's one of the things USP does, but that's a very, very good exercise. So, so now I'm going to say, what exercise do you hate the most?
Well, it's interesting. I used to hate burpees. I think I had so much weight in between, because I'm short. I had so much weight in my middle that it was actually physically difficult, really difficult to do it. I don't hate them anymore.
Okay.
I don't like them, but I don't hate them.
We don't do them very often.
No, you don't. You don't. Jumping. Probably anything jumping is always a tough part for me. Jumping sideways, jumping forwards, jumping back, even jump squats. I can do them, but because my knees, sometimes it jars them a little bit. Plus there's a lot of me, even after losing the weight, there's a lot of me bouncing when I do that. So, probably jumping is not my favorite, but, it's valuable too, And closing my eyes when I walk and I walk sideways, the balance exercises, But
when we first started putting some of the balance stuff in, and we have to be kind of simplistic with our balance, because to take the balance stuff to the next level, we need to do some partner things. Where we might toss a ball or push a little bit, stuff like that. So we have to keep it a little simple. So I was a little afraid when I started to put the balance in, because I was going to be like, this is kind of cheesy. It doesn't seem that hard. But when you go into class, sometimes people cannot do it. Some of the simplest things.
I agree, and you don't realize how impaired your balance is until you actually go, because you don't test your own balance all the time. You just don't. But if you, this is not scientific, but just having a lot of elderly people in my family over the years, because the longevity is big in my family, but balance has caused a lot of the issues that people have as they get older. Like my mother, super well in shape, skis and plays tennis and all that, but her balance is not always great. So if anything's going to happen to my 84-year-old mother, it would be she'd fall over.
Right.
And you gotta work on the balance. It's one of those things, you gotta work on it before it becomes a problem, because then it's hard to get it back. So the fact that you do it for this age group, I think is great, because we don't realize that it could be deteriorating already.
Right.
So I think it's great.
It's probably the number one goal that people don't talk about when they first come in the door. So when I have a strategy session, they come in, we talk about what your goals are and things like that. And then we go, and then, want to lose weight, they want to get more energy, they want to sleep a little better, they want to feel better, and all that kind of stuff. So then I take them into the back, and we go through our functional movement screen. And during the functional movement screen assessment or screening, you have to stand on, it's a 2x6 basically, 2x6 board. You have to stand there and you have to perform an activity. I can't tell you how many people can't stand on the board.
Yeah. No, I believe it.
They can't stand on the board, and they say, oh, I guess I have to work on my balance.
Yeah.
And you do. They don't realize it because they're not challenged like that at all. So it's probably the number one goal that gets talked about after goals get talked.
And I think, you can be as strong as can be, but if your balance is off and you're not going to be confident doing a lot of really cool things.
Yeah.
So I think balance is more important than almost anything.
Yeah.
So
the fracture rate of hips when older people fall, and then the rate of deaths after that is very high. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but it's very high.
Sure.
So
get visitors coming.
Visitors in the studio. All right, so you've been here for a while. Obviously, you should keep coming back. You come in here 5 or 6 days a week.
Yeah.
You said a lot of great things. So if someone is on the fence about coming on board down here, what would you tell them? What advice would you give them?
I guess I would say put on your big girl panties and get in the door and just try it. I mean, you got to get out of your comfort zone once in a while. I mean, every day we have to get out of our comfort zone at work, in our social lives. This is just one more thing. And you got to do it. You want something to change. You can't just sit around and expect it to change.
Right.
You got to make a move to make a change. And so make the move and try it. Have Chris buddy you, meet somebody like me who's, a little bit more outgoing than most, to talk about it and connect with you and, make a new friend. I mean, if anything, you've made a new friend.
Yeah.
But walk in the door, just get yourself in the door and try it and give yourself an opportunity to get over the first few weeks, the first month, and see how you do. If it's not for you, fine. But, just walk in the door. Just try it.
Our preliminary period is a full month because I don't believe taking one class, you really know and understand how we exercise, what our culture is, what it's like to work out here. And if you come on board with me for 1 month, in 1 month's time, I agree. You can start to feel better. You'll start to move better. You'll start to have more energy. You'll start to feel better about yourself, and you'll realize that you can actually do this.
I agree.
Because we have people who low level, can't even get through warm up to come on board with us, and we have people who are fit to come on board with us. Don't get me wrong, and we work hard. And I have to tell you, I'm coaching a little bit more in the mornings right now because one of our coaches left for a career decision change, and it's really amazing how hard you guys work and how much effort you work. And you wouldn't think that, I don't know how old you are. You don't need to tell me.
I'm 54.
54-year-old people, just how hard you guys go after it so hard. You're not afraid to lift the heavier weights. And you can't see Amy. She's got a jacket. She looks fantastic. She moves great. She's so strong. And, her aerobic capacity is so much better than when she started. And it wasn't like that when she came in the door. But your consistency and your effort is really a testament. And you should be proud of that stuff.
Well, thank you. But definitely just try it. Just do yourself a favor and try it. I mean, it's so worth it.
I take what we do very serious. I take fitness very serious. You see us more than you see a physician. Your health is in our hands. We take that very seriously. And you've made some great health changes. I know you don't get your migraines as much anymore.
I don't at all.
Your reduction in weight has really helped your body, your health, your knees, your back, and all that kind of stuff is stronger than they were years ago. And because of all that, Amy, you're going to live longer and you have to keep coming here longer.
I guess so. Now you'll be retired. I'll be dealing with somebody else.
I don't know about that at the rate I'm going.
Yeah, but I won't be coming at 5:30 in the morning once that happens. I'll be coming at 9:30.
All right. Well, I really appreciate your business, Amy. I appreciate you coming on board with us today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I love coaching you. I love having you in class, and it really is a good time. So next week, we're going to talk about the sirtuin pathways.
And I will not be here for that.
And how they affect longevity. You want to hear this stuff. This is cutting edge research and what you can do. First, we'll talk about exercise. We may get into nutrition. I'm not sure we'll have enough time for nutrition. Certainly exercise-wise to help you turn on the sirtuin pathways, which leads to living a longer, healthier life.
Awesome.
So have a great afternoon. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in a week.